Hello and welcome to another Doctor System 1 video. Today I'm doing a review of the 3.75 inch 10th Doctor, if you couldn't already tell. One of his accessories at least that this figure comes with is a base plate, red base plate with the DW and one peg hole, and that's so he can obviously put his foot in it, because he's got two little pegs on both feet, so even though there's only one hole, or one peg should I say. So yeah, if you aren't already aware, in the background I do have the 5-inch version of this one, and if you were thinking whilst you were watching my Amy review, which hopefully you should have seen, why didn't I have a like a bigger version, a 5-inch version of that one, because that one was a variant. So if you're not aware, that one was a Series 7 Part 1 variant from the episode Asylum of the Daleks, and so although they have done a 5-inch figure of Amy Pond, that wouldn't have been the exact same one, so it'd have been a bit pointless, whereas these are exactly the same pretty much, and that is the beauty of this. Personally, I wanted this figure, but mainly for reviewing purposes, and yet I've actually found out that I'm actually liking this figure much more than I anticipated, because I was under the impression that, well, personally, I was under the impression that I was sick of these figures, this particular version of the 10th Doctor, just because character-wise, in figure form at least, this is the standard version of the 10th Doctor, meaning this is the one you get the most, basically. It's the most popular version of him. And it really is like a miniaturized version of this one. Seriously, look, like, detail-wise, you got the purple tie with the blue spots, same on that one. Blue shirt, same on that one. Hair sculpt, pretty much immaculate, slightly different, different shade of brown, different type of hair at the front, somewhat. I think it's slightly better on this one, obviously, because of the size of his head on this one, because they can sculpt more finer detail, but that is a really close match, considering that it's a much smaller head sculpt. The hands are sculpted pretty much the same, so you can hold the Sonic in one hand and has kind of like an open palm sort of look, or open palm in that one, and then sculpted hand to obviously hold the the Sonic. This one seems to not want to stand up. That's rather irritating. You can just lean him near the TARDIS. On the sides, even on the sides, they have the buttons down the side. If you can see that, you can see it better on the 5-inch one, and that it's more evident and whatnot, but it's still there on the 3.75-inch one. But he also has the pocket there, which that one does as well. The Converse, same Converse as that one. The suit, which looks a bit more brown on this one, whereas it's more dark blue on this one, but that might just be because of the way that the effect came out, maybe on this particular one, I'm not sure. Yeah, and it's just got as many creases on the back as the other one, as the 5-inch one, so that's good. Articulation wise on this figure, his head goes full 360 degrees. I think, yep, should go full 360 degrees. Face sculpt's really nice, like, it is really accurate to David Tennant, pretty much like, as I say, a miniaturized version of the 5-inch one, which is always what you want from these 5-inch, 3.75-inch figures even. Arm goes out in at the elbows and 90 degrees, a ball joint, and 360 hands. Well, it's really tight and really difficult to do that with one hand. He does have leg articulation, but obviously it's pretty much hindered by the long brown coat, obviously, and also you really don't want to be, well, I'd guess in this sort of costume he wouldn't be posed like that either. The Sonic is, I think, one thing that is obviously much more of a negative in the 3.75 inch figure, because obviously it's smaller, so it's even harder for the manufacturers to put on a design of the Sonic, because it's so small. Like, it has the black, it has a bit of the sort of middle grey part, the silver and the blue tip, if you can't see that. It is really hard to put it into the 3.75 inch figure's hand, because of the size of his hand and the size of the Sonic. They're both really small, whereas as well, obviously on the 5-inch one it's much easier, and that because both are much bigger. You know, the hand is much bigger and the Sonic is much bigger, so yeah. Although he does come with a accessory, I do think it's worse even in the 3.75 inch variant or version of the same figure, but it is still a nice addition and whatnot. But yeah, that's literally it really. It doesn't come with any other accessories or all like that. So yeah. Do I recommend this figure? Yeah, if you're a big fan of the 10th Doctor and you've just started the 3.75 inch wave or figure range, I think this is a must-have. It's from wave 3. It should retail for $6.99, and as always, well, I'd probably give it a well-earned 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 because of the Sonic being not the best to be putting into his hand, and as well obviously it lacks the detail of the 5-inch one. Aside from that, the articulation is somewhat improved, obviously because of the 90-degree arm joint, ball jointed arm and whatnot, which you couldn't do on this one, on the 5-inch one. For example, that articulation, you can't do that with that one. But yeah, and detail, it is pretty much a miniaturized version of that one, just shrunken down. So yeah, then they've captured as much detail as they can in a smaller figure, and for that I have to say well done to the people who make these figures. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for the 10th Doctor from Wave 3 of the 3.75 inch figures. Thanks for watching, comment, rate and subscribe.